If you could show Mozart a modern song to blow his mind, what song would you show him? Honestly, show him a Mozart song. The fact that he's still a household name almost 300 years later would probably blow his mind more than any one song from the future. A fifth of Beethoven. Mozart was into his juvenile humor, so it'd go with Blink 182 minus Fuck a Dog. Lucky you. I was told at 17 years and 11 months old by a hearing specialist that I would be deaf by the time I was 25. I listened to everything that I could find so I would have music to remember. I found the best way was to find people who love music and have good ears. They will sort out the crap in their favorite genres just to amaze you with the excellent stuff. Doctor was wrong. Rock and Roll McDonald's by Wesley Willis. Mozart vs. Skrillex epic rap battle. He'd be so confused. Also show him some 12-tone Schoenberg stuff. Ram Ranch. Funny. I was just talking about this in another thread. Start by playing him some of the composers that came after him. Stravinsky, Copland, that kind of stuff. Then some film scores, like from Williams, Horner, Barry, etc. I'd love to see what he'd think of jazz and rock and roll too. If I could only pick one thing, it would be Rite of Spring by Stravinsky. Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder. Probably. Classic bit of jazz mixed with pop and big band. Really just a short history of modern music. Falco minus Rock Me Amadeus. Are all of you people seriously gonna tell me that you're not gonna rickroll the dude? Come on. I'm disappointed. Never gonna give you up is the only right answer. Edit. You /really lyricastly. Dude Sandstorm. Mozart was born and raised in Austria and spoke mostly German with French and Italian. 100% him playing him Rammstein. Probably the concert version of Mean Teal with all the explosions and theatrics. Then maybe some Gojira to show him what the French are up to. Possibly some Tool if he's curious. Then some baby metal because something tells me he'd get Japan in a weird way. I would play Aqua's Barbie Girl just to watch him willingly return to his grave before the song finishes. Probably a Philip Glass or Stephen Reich work of minimalism. Mozart was avant-garde for his day minus he would be blown away by the creative freedom and dexterity of technique in a composition by Glass or Reich. Ecstasy of Gold. Or Master of Puppets. Or Bangarang. Or something by Hans Zimmer. I'd really like to know what he thinks of a modern composer. Megalovania. Vitas minus the Seventh Element. I would also love to see Mozart listen to Life on Mars by David Bowie, The Great Gig in the Sky by Pink Floyd, or Exit Music, for a Film, by Radiohead. Duel of Fates minus Star Wars. Money Machine by 100 Gex. Giant Steps by John Coltrane. https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals 3006G53V. In terms of musical theory, it's basically the standard for complexity within jazz. This is a pretty good breakdown of why. https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals 62TIF9to W. But essentially the song changes keys so frequently and so quickly while still remaining cohesive that only true masters can keep up. In the video, they compare the song to trying to have a conversation with someone who changes their language every 3-ish seconds. You're trying to keep up as they communicate one cohesive thought while switching between English, German, Korean, Russian, Spanish, etc. etc. I think Mozart would be intrigued by jazz anyway, but dissecting Giant Steps would hopefully prove a worthy challenge for one of the greatest musical minds in history. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen or Umbrella by Rihanna. Voodoo Child, Slight Return, https www.youtube.com/watch v equals is by Hendrix. A Day in the Life the Beatles. If he showed up today, would plain was fuck the police. Gotta get him caught up on culture. La Villa Strangiotto, https://youtube.b/ec1b8bo, Rush. Or 2112. Anything by Michael Jackson. Both artists were robbed of a childhood due to their father's milking of their musical talents, and thus grew up to act juvenile and immature, using music as the prime way to express themselves. Rappin' for Jesus. Play for Him, Let It Be, by the Beatles. Mozart, that fucking patchable. Dance of Eternity or Octavarium by Dream Theater. Johnny B. Good. Painkiller by Judas Priest. Freaking gnarly song that blew my mind when I heard it and am actually into metal. Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Any Bobby Shmurda or Chief Keef song. Starless by King Crimson. I'm sure that song would be a trip and a half for him, especially the instrumental breakdown part. Also, Supper's Ready by Genesis and Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. FX Twin minus Mount St. Michel plus St. Michael's Mount. Friday minus Rebecca Black. Time to Show Him. #Hatsune Miku. Master of Puppets. Autobahn, Kraftwerk. Just take him to any public place. In his time, musicians and composers were rare and you hardly ever heard music. Nowadays you can listen to music playing in the background basically everywhere, and we even consider it weird to be sitting in silence at a place. He'd be used to a world where the majority doesn't have music, and yet pretty much anywhere you took him there'd always be some music track playing. Comfortably Numb minus Pink Floyd. A few options come to mind. 4:33 AM by John Cage. Giant Steps by John Coltrane. Threnody by Penderecki. Ghosts of Perdition by Opeth. Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. That keep him entertained. I would be very interested to see Mozart's reaction to the Beatles, A Day in the Life. Or in fact a lot of Beatles songs that have classical influences, such as Eleanor Rigby, Yesterday, Because, or even the entire Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. Anything by Billy Joel. You Play the Piano Man for Piano Men. Through the Fire and Flames. Edit Thanks for the award Kind Stranger. I think playing Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train and Trick Daddy's Let's Go samples the first song would show him how people still create totally new music out of samples or inspiration from others. Plus he hears two genres that are totally different. Some possibilities. 1. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, because he would know who Galileo and Figaro are. 2. When I Get You Alone by Robin Thicke, self-explanatory if you know the song. 3. I Am the Walrus by the Beatles for its rock and roll use of strings. 4. Only Shallow by My Bloody Valentine, 'cause that'll mess with his head. 5. Rock Me Amadeus by Falco, because he needs to hear that. Subscribe, like and comment if you hate outros, begging you to subscribe, like and comment.